Peace and love, everyone. How are you doing today? Peace and love. Thanks for being here live. Thanks for being here by recording. My dear friends, welcome, whether you are live or by recording. I'm Michelle. I'd like to say hi to everybody I can. Hey, Jen. So, welcome. The self, capital S, who is merciful love, lives in everything, everywhere, and is always with you. Always. And now. With us now. I hear a lot of people talking about near-death experience. People wonder about the commonalities, the differences. So what's a near-death experience? What are the common characteristics? Are these common characteristics also aspects of some other types of mystical experiences, maybe like yours? The answer to the second question is yes, I think so. And we'll get to this soon today. I'm Peter Panagore, a two-time near-death experiencer and a natural-born mystic, and this is our global community of mystics, established for people like us who are always on the outside of society because of the awakening transitions, new understanding of ourselves that results from mystical experiences that are so overwhelming that they change us and all of our relationships. And so I've searched all over the world for people because I was so alone and I didn't know how to find a global community. So I started this channel, and now we have a global community of mystics of all different sorts, of spiritually transformed people seeking and touching and being touched by oneness. And that's what we hope for, is always this touching by oneness. Someone this week told me I'm his oneness coach. I've been trying to figure out what this is that I do. What's my job? What's my mission? What's my soul purpose? What's the name of my job, mission, and soul purpose? Maybe it's oneness coach. Sounds pretty good. Hi, Linda, Judith, Wanda, and Michelle. Hey, the only way out is in. So before we begin, let's center in. I need a little centering in myself. Let's take 3 controlled breaths, focusing on our concentration, on our inhalations into our expanding bellies, and then riding the exhalation up the spine to the eye chakra, the single eye chakra, and then down again. And listen to and feel your breath. Focus on control of your breath, on your feeling and your hearing of your breath. Focus on your breath. And then pause at the top, and then pause at the bottom. Just a beat. 3 breaths settling in together. Thanks for being here live, everyone. Super appreciate it. My feet are flat on the floor. Hands are on my lap. My eyes are closed. Spine is straight. Room for my belly to expand, which takes a little more room these days. Add your chant or your mantra if you must. One more. Ride your breath. So, what's a near-death experience? This explanation that I'm about to give you guys comes from the 2024 annual report of the International Association for Near-Death Studies, which is available on their website, ians.org, where you also may sign up for their annual conference over Labor Day weekend. I won't be there this year, next year. IANS aims to advance global understanding of near-death experience and related phenomena through research, education, and supportive communities like us, and resources. That's their mission statement. Now I'm going to be reading through their writing on what a near-death experience is. Direct quotes here, the whole thing, except for where I'm commenting. A near-death experience, NDE, is typically a profound, life-changing, intensely emotional experience that usually occurs, but not always, during a clinical crisis and has common characteristics and after effects. It's not a dream, hallucination, or mental illness. There are no predictive variables to identify who will have an NDE. They happen to people of all ages, religions, economic groups, socioeconomic groups, cultures, educational backgrounds, and belief systems. They occur under a variety of circumstances, such as accidental injuries, near drownings, illnesses, combat, surgical procedures, and childbirth, and natural disasters, and other things like ice climbing or heart attacks. Following an NDE, experiencers often display some common after effects, after gifts, we might call them. Research established a set of common NDE characteristics and long-term after effects, after gifts. Now, as you listen, consider your mystical experiences. It may not be an NDE, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But consider your mystical experience regarding these 17 points. Each one is a little tiny 3 words, a little brief commentary from my direct experience, because I find it necessary, I find it impossible not to speak from my near-death experience directly. And if how these points, maybe these 17 points, fit into your life. You may find that some of them do, or all of them do. Talk to me about it. And among yourselves in the chat and the comment section. The feeling of dying or being dead. The feeling of dying or being dead. The first time, that's number 1. The first time, so none of the numbers are here on the teleprompter. I have to figure this out as I go. The feeling of dying or being dead, that is number 1. The first time was terrifying and painful. The second was painful and joyous. The feeling of your physical body telling you its ending is near is unlike any other feeling. You'll feel and know what I mean when your body shuts down. 2, feeling detached from the body. Maybe I should get out my pencil and make sure I keep the track here. Feeling detached from the body. Experiencing detachment teaches all out-of-body experiencers, NDE and otherwise, that consciousness resides in, but does not arise in, the brain. Everyone who's been out of the body knows this. 3, a sense of reality or hyper-reality. Hyper-reality. The real real with a capital R in the second one, the real real exists beyond, among, and within this lower, weaker, and thinner reality. But on the other side, its reality overwhelms and overcomes all of this. 4. Senses more vivid than usual. I could hear with my soul and see with my soul millions of colors and the thousand different spectrums that my human eyes can never see. 5. Feelings of peace and joy. Infinite, eternal peace, joy, bliss. But it wasn't just that I was feeling them. I was them. They are me. They are you. They were me. They will be me. 6. Experiencing an altered sense of time. Timelessness, all time, eternal, infinite, and the now, all simultaneously. 7. Viewing the material world from a location apart from the body. When I came back to my body the first time, I saw my body on the cliff. I felt nothing for it other than observational interest. 8. Perceiving things in the material world that are shown to be accurate. Among other things, I saw the truth of goodness that lives inside as a golden light hidden inside every human heart. I still see that. I also, in terms of the future, I live my future life. We'll cover a little bit of that next week. 9. Moving through a passage such as a tunnel or a door. Yes, it was like that. And you? How about you? Tunnel or a door? Or something like that. What was it? 10. Being in another world. Or other worlds, dimensions, nothingness, and fullness, where without my physical body, I was fully conscious in ways that far exceeded my mortal limitations. 11. Encountering beings and or deceased relatives. Many people meet the deceased relatives and other beings. The beings I encountered, they were both the light itself, first manifesting as an angel and then in many forms: light, voice, environment, beauty, joy, all one, powerful, and more. Now, unlike other NDEs, I didn't meet any deceased relatives, but I lacked nothing and no one in the full union of the light, because everything and everyone I ever loved, love, living and dead, is, was, and will be present in the union, in the oneness. There is no lack in the capital S self. 12. Not quite 12 yet. All beings and deceased relatives live within the oneness. There's nothing separate from it. 12. Feeling surrounded by light and love. It wasn't just a surrounding, it was a beingness of it. Surrounded, immersed inside, among, right to the very core of the being, awash, overcome, unconditional, infinite, forgiving, merciful, fulfilling life, feeding, most glorious, magnificent, beautiful, totality, welcome, healing, wholeness, inexpressible, ineffable, leaving an intensity of joy, even in this world of shadow, but not like a joy here. It leaves a drop of itself. To everyone who crosses over in some way or another, NDE or otherwise, everybody gets a drop, or two or three. 13. Seeing visions of the future, personal and or planetary. As I returned, I passed through a vast field of doors and tunnels of probable and interactive futures, causing me to now live my future life. They're all there waiting for me to make choices and for the world around me to make choices, funneling me in different directions. All of them my potential futures. 13. Having an enhanced sense of knowing. When I was dead, I knew that the knower, capital K, the knower knew me, and that knowing that the knower knew me expanded my self-understanding, an understanding of reality, capital R, exponentially to the edge of infinity. This is why I am the way I am, which is the way you are, and you'll find out for yourself either now or when you go home. 14. Less often, says Ians, feelings of non-existence, tormentor, isolation. Hell, my tormentor was myself, my selfishness from my just lived life. My hell was self-made. Yet once I surrendered to the overpowering love, hellish torment ended and was replaced by my original self, replaced by inexpressible, eternal delight. 15. Voluntary or involuntary return to the body. Twice I've come back. I've chosen to come back twice to my body, the first time for the sake of my parents, the second for my granddaughter. Sometimes people have choice. Oh, I only came up with 15, even though I know that there were 17. Now that or maybe I cut some out and I didn't change the title. Now that you're familiar with these common characteristics and what they mean to you, next time we'll cover Ian's psychological, spiritual, physical, and social after effects, after gifts, after troubles of the near-death experience. So over these 3 weeks, what we're doing is we're looking at NDE through the eyes of Ians and the research that they've done so that you might better understand yourself. And if you're going to the conference for the first time, you'll be able to go with a little foreknowledge. Thanks for participating in the chat this morning and in the comments and our niche community. At the top of the hour, join our community of worldwide mystics for an hour of crowdsourced wisdom, and find the link in the description. I checked. Your charity through Super Chat and otherwise, thank you for the Super Chat, Brown Trousers, keeps this channel and our community alive. And together, I give you a big thank you to all of you who've continued to support the work that we do here. And before we go and meet at the top of the hour in about 10 minutes, a word about, and we'll talk at the chat for a sec, the word about the movie, it's moved into active development, which is good news. And I'll start at the bottom. You're welcome, Holly. Is there any place to get a list of these? Yes, I can post these. I can post them either at Patreon. I can send them out by email. I can even put them in the discussion. I mean, in the description. You can come back to them there. I'll get them out one way or the other. Thank you, Rose, for the super chat. Peter, thank you for focusing on NDEs. I checked all the boxes except 12 and experienced that years later in STE. Looking forward to next week. Cool. And yeah, and some of these, so you might not all these have these in one single experience. Some of these can occur over different experiences. At least that's my experience of it. Is that there are, well, yeah, that's all I needed to say, I guess. I'm so glad to hear that about you, Lynn. Uh, all right, so I'm going to make a note here. Get list to Sandy and all at all. Today's talk, and highlighted in red so I don't forget. Do this. I'll probably immediately drop it into the description. Maybe I should do that. I'll do that in between now and when we meet on Zoom. This is comforting to hear, says Wanda. Good. Enjoying this very much. Thanks, Candyman. I appreciate the support and the input, because I need to know whether what I'm trying to do here helps you. Otherwise, what's the point? Beautiful description. Thanks. Thanks to Ian's mostly there, that is what you do. That is what is so missing in the world today. We see too much the ugly and corruption, but not the eternal goodness and the relativity of the corruption to that state. It's so trivial. It's so true, Rose. And the only way you can see this, what we're talking about, is to see it. If you can't see it, then you can't see it. And the can't seers are the majority. They're the majority. Although there's a majority of people who have seen, who keep it repressed. They put their light under the bushel basket, as I did for decades, because they've had a visitation from the dead and they had this experience of love, and they don't let that be their guide. All these gifts. Here's the thing about the drops of wisdom. All the drops of wisdom that come from all our different experiences, they are guides for us. Everybody's talking about these guides talking to, which is fine. I have angels too. But the guide that's implanted in you, it's written on what's that say? I will write it on your heart. It's been written on your heart. And what gets written on the heart is where the door is. And you're right, Rose. If everybody would just look inside and see the light, the world would be different. I had an experience. I experienced several of them in my life. This was due to a bottom hit from drinking. It was the gift of starting over, but with the struggle, with the help from others. Love myself. He loves me. Ascending Leo. Yeah, the breaking is where the door opens. And then you have these mystical experiences. They do happen. Good morning, Lynn from Northern Washington. Hi, Lee and Niantic. Good morning, Holly. Thank you, Brown Trousers, again for the super chat. If you want to support, peterpanagore.love. Thanks. Super helpful. Hi, Michelle. Don't forget to hit the like, everyone. Thanks, Michelle. Good morning, Janet. Sending love to Amy. Spend a second here for Amy with the PTSD and everyone with PTSD, which is like most of us, or maybe all of us. But Amy had a resurgence last night. So let's aim at her. Little prayer. All right. I'll see you at the top of the hour. Mystic T Salon. Thanks again, Rose. Didn't go somewhere or leave my body. Just left with a knowing. Can hear, know, feel prayers. KC. Yeah, you don't have to leave your body. It's not a requirement. Nam. Do we need to feel regret about something, or light can heal? Light can heal. Light can heal. It might help to talk about regrets, to try to work them through the brain as well. Facing the shadow self helps. But the light heals all. Heals all, and it can heal all now in this life. It can help heal us here and now of our regrets. And it definitely heals us on the other side. And if you want to talk to me about it, I'm at peterpanagore.love. Love to talk to you about it, talk it through with you. But yeah, regrets. They can be healed. You're welcome, Amy. Peace and love, everybody. See you in 5.